Hello, amazing ladies, you powerhouse women that you are. Today, we are going to be talking about organizing yourself so that you can be more efficient in your posting, right? And I'm really excited to kind of break this down and share with you what it is that I started doing a couple of years ago that really made it much easier for me to keep my pages on track and keep my social media presence consistent. We all know, we've heard everybody tell us that consistency is key, right? You have to be consistent. You got to show up every day. On your good days, on your bad days, you got to show up. You got to be consistent. Consistency is key, right? We can all recite that in our sleep. So something that I have been doing for the past couple of years is organizing my content. And what I want to start with is a minimal post flow, is what I call it, for your group pages. If you're here, you are probably in direct sales or network marketing in some fashion or another, which means you most likely have a VIP group page. They're very, very common in that particular industry. They're a great environment to build a community, get that rapport going with your people. They're the best way to provide that above and beyond customer service to your clientele. They're a phenomenal thing. When you show up for them, they can be a superpower of yours, right? For cultivating those relationships that later turn to being your loyal, lifelong customers. And it's really easy if you've got, your main profile, and you've got your stories, and you've got your business page, and you've probably got an Instagram, and you might have a YouTube, and you have all these things going on. And then you throw in your group page, and it can get overwhelming. So I'm somebody that works best when I have like regimented structure. And I know that that's not for everyone, but due to being somebody that needs that like regimented, like I need a system for every single thing that I do, I found that my posts became extremely consistent when I sat down and mindfully prepared them. And I used something that I created called a graphic content organizer. It's this super simple one-page worksheet. I'm going to give it to you for free so you can try it out for yourself, and hopefully it helps you as much as it's helped me. I'm pretty confident that it will. It has helped everyone that I've coached, that I've shared it with through the past couple of years. And the concept is something very common in the industry. I'm going to share that so that you can download it. I'll drop it in the comments right underneath this video. So basically what I do is I sit down on Sunday night. I work one whole week at a time, which takes me anywhere from 20 to about 45 minutes, depending on how like in-depth my content's going to be for the week coming. And I organize my entire week ahead for that VIP group page. I do this in all areas of my social media, but today for this video, I'm going to focus just on your VIP group pages, or whatever it is that you call them in your industry. A lot of what I work in, they're called a VIP page. And what I do is I lay out, so at a minimum, right? Let's back up a tiny bit. At a very minimum, you should be posting 4 times in that type of page, right? Anything that's a group, it really looks with the algorithm that you're growing a community. That's really what it spots for. So it spots for how often you're in there, right? Is it, could you call it abandoned? If it's abandoned, we're gonna have to step that up. And so the real core, like minimum amount that you should be in there every day is 4 times. And you should have a rotation of what it is that you're posting so that you're not turning your people off and you're not over bombarding them with any given like one thing over and over and over. They're gonna lose interest, right? So you always wanna be kind of changing it up. And for me, it got a little bit chaotic because my brain will be over here, and then it'll be over here, and then I'll be wicked busy. So I was super guilty. I'll own it. I used to just like whatever graphic I had in front of me, that was going to be my post. There was no thought. There was no rhyme. There was no reason to it. And I wasn't seeing the sales that I wanted to see. I wasn't seeing the sales that I see present day. So what I do is I use this group content organizer, right? And I map it all out for a week at a time. So on Sunday night, I sit down. I know that I'm going to need 4 posts for 7 days. That's going to be 28 posts altogether. And you really should have a rotation where you have something that's inspirational, something that is a product spotlight, something that is an interactive. You want to have at least one interactive every single day. That's where the majority of your engagement's going to come from, especially while you're growing and trying to gain that traction. And then you want to have your sales sales driven. I always put my sales driven in the evening time because that's when the majority of people are on Facebook and scrolling, or they're on Facebook and they can do something about whatever my sales driven call to action is, my CTA. CTA is something you're going to hear a lot. I'm sure it's something that you have probably already heard a lot if you're in these industries, but just in case we have anyone that's super new or it's super foreign, a CTA is a call to action. It's where you explicitly tell them in your post what you want them to do. Do you want them to order? Do you want them to try a sample? Do you want them to sign up on your mailing list? Do you want them to register on your site? You tell them directly what you want them to do. So you're calling them to action. They're really important, especially when you're working a majority of virtual basis. If you just put a pretty picture in the internet and say, hey, this is a pretty picture, that's nice, but now what? Right? You have to kind of like steer your audience a little bit. You've got to direct them to what it is that you want them to do. So you want to get a call to action in as often as you can, but they are critical when it's your sales driven post. Every single day, if you're doing the minimum, that 4 minimum barely there post, you should be doing a sales driven post because let's face it, we're trying to run a business and ultimately at the end of the day, we want to be making sales, right? Who doesn't love making money? But you can't have everything be a sales post. That's how you burn people out and you turn them away. You've got to use that balance, right? So on a bare minimum post flow of 4, your balance is going to come in using that rotation. So an inspirational, like I already said, an inspirational, interactive, a product spotlight, and then your sales driven. I find that alternating between non-product, product, non-product, product is a nice flow. People don't get too sick of seeing our products. We don't come across as too spammy, right? Nobody wants to be spammy pammy. Everybody's heard that phrase, right? So I sit down on Sunday night and then I say to myself, okay, I need 7 inspirational posts. I need 7 product spotlight posts. I pick what those are going to be. If it's 7 inspirational posts, I go and make myself 7 graphics with quotes that are strong, or I go and find myself 7 Pinterest somethings, right? If you don't make graphics, that's okay. It's a skill you should look into as you're growing, but you don't need to come out the gate making graphics. There's graphic groups, there's Pinterest, there's Google Images. You can find something to work with. So I go and I pick them out. I save them right into a folder. I make a folder and I title it whatever the week is going to be, and I save my 7 inspirationals. Then I decide what my product spotlights are going to be. What's my focus? What am I trying to sell this week, right? And I predetermine those so that I'm organized and I'm coming across methodical and professional to the people that are in my pages. So I sit down and decide what those 7 product spotlights are going to be. Then I go either to my own back office, depending on the company, or Pinterest, wherever it is that you get your graphics, the company graphic group, whatever the case is, and I get the image for each corresponding product, right? And I also kind of make myself like a little note, some kind of small, like, what do I love the most about each of those 7 products that I'm going to feature? Because if you're product spotlighting, you really want to be like, we're talking it up, right? We're like, we got to, like, this is amazing. I got to go tell everybody why this is amazing. I got to go convince these people that this is amazing. If they only tried it, they would know that this is freaking amazing, right? Right. So I just kind of make myself a really quick note. Sometimes it's only like 1 or 2 words on the side of what the product's going to be. I grab those 7 graphics, stick them in that same folder with my 7 inspirationals, wash, rinse, repeat, move on to my interactives. Interactives are so crucial. Without engagement, you don't get visibility. It is rule number 1 in the algorithm of social media. If people are not talking on your posts, the algorithm is going to stop showing you as much. If people have not been talking for a long time, you're probably feeling that pain. You're like, okay, I go in my group, I post every day. A lot of people, when I first take them on, they're like, I post once a day, I don't know what's wrong. You got to post more than once a day. And you also have to have something that gives them a reason to speak, right? Something that prompts them to be commenting. So great examples of your interactives are your this or that's, a question, a game. If you're going to be running a contest, that's the slot that you would use your contest post in. If you're doing some kind of giveaway, if you're doing some kind of sign up for free sample, something where they have to respond in order for anything to come to fruition, you can stick that in your engagement. So I decide what my engagements are going to be, right? I write down what it is. So say Monday, it's going to be a this or that. Tuesday, I'm going to play a word game. Wednesday, I'm going to do a giveaway. Thursday, right? Just continue all the way down for the 7 days. And then I go and I get my images, whatever they're going to be, make my images, get them from the graphic group. Again, however you're doing your images, just go to there and get them. You don't have to be making them yourself. Although, again, I'm going to keep pressing it. Look into learning graphics a little bit. It's a very valuable skill in this kind of market. And then I get to my sales driven. Now, this is the post that theoretically it should be making you your money, right? So you really want to put a little bit of time. So you got to decide, what am I trying to sell that 7 days, right? Diversify as best you can. If you're with a company and you only have one product, then shoot for the moon. And you're going to have to get creative in how you present it so it doesn't get stale. And we can probably cover that in a different training later on down the road. But diversify. So if you're in Pampered Chef, for example, then do baking stuff on Monday and pots and pans on Wednesday and utensils on Thursday and flavor packets on, you know what I mean? Just kind of work yourself down. If you're in a beauty-based business, then do skincare on this day, moisturizer the second day, eye makeup is your focus on the next day, then all about the lipstick, and then maybe you got body care, you can work that into the cycle too, right? You really want to diversify, because maybe product one isn't going to grab their attention, but there's a good chance that you've got something for everyone. Most of these companies are pretty diverse at this point in the game. So you decide what they're going to be, and then you go get your graphics, right? Put them into that same folder that's labeled for that particular week. And if you're really going to be ahead of your game, plan out what you're going to say. And make sure, no matter what you're saying, that you include a call to action at the end. So if you're selling a moisturizer, you're going to talk all about, right? Like we're talking like a good shoot for like 100, 165 characters. That's a good range. The algorithm likes that. And right, this thing is, the bee's knees, it's all the rage. These are the results I'm getting. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how crazy good my skin looks now that it's super hydrated from this moisturizer. And then you need to make sure that you close that out with some kind of call to action. So, if you're looking to have the best moisturizer in the entire world, shoot me a message and I can make the best recommendation based on your personal skin's needs, right? Or if you are interested, I also have an opportunity. You can try out a sample, drop me below, and I will message you to get your address to send it out to you, right? Something along those lines. Or I'm running a discount, or there's a promotion, so make sure that you hop into my site tonight before midnight so you don't miss out. Those are all examples of how you would utilize your call to action. And you really, call to actions are always important, like I said, but they are the most critical when they're on your sales driven post. You've got to give them something to do and someplace to go to have that sale come to fruition for you. So remember, like I said, I've got a freebie for the graphic organizer that I personally use, that I created. I'm going to put that so that you can download it below this video. I hope that you have found this helpful. If you're already doing this, awesome. You're doing amazing. Keep going. I'll be back with more tips, and I would love to hear what tips you have, right? Share within the group. We're building a like-minded community of women, and we can all learn from each other. And if you find this helpful, I'd love to hear about how, if you make these changes in a week or two, and oh my gosh, I have more people talking than ever, come in here so that we can share for you, because I love hearing about you women, you amazing ladies, and all of the wins that you're going to take in.